Well, hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to OLC TV. So I'm going to open another Let's Play to go alongside my Tao Let's Play. We're 10 episodes into that one. The Mandate War has been won by the Han Empire, but things are getting a little bit dicey for me in that one. It's got to a really good stage as well. A lot of empire building about to happen. But I thought I'd start another one to run alongside it, and I thought I'd start as Liu Bei, who is someone who actually I have never played on this game before. I've played as almost every other general, I believe, even in the Eight Princes. But yeah, I've never done Liu Bei because I have an active dislike of the chap. Based on my own studies at university about this time period, reading romance many times, a lot of the stories about how he is this virtuous paragon doesn't quite sit well with me. So yeah, I've never actually played him. I thought I'd give it a go because I know during the Yellow Turban period, that's when he starts to build his fame up and starts to rise to prominence. And as you can see, he is without the likes of Guan Yu Zhangfei at the beginning. According to this anyway, I don't actually know what happens after first turn. But I'm assuming they'll join him very quickly, as keeps with the story. He has unity, same as before. He has Yi archers, who are actually pretty good bowmen, but yeah, I do love my crossbows. Shuhan tax collection, which is a building I avoid tax collection unless I really need it, so it'll be interesting to see how that works. And the ability to confederate other factions and integrate them into, if they're Han, into his own thing. But here we go. Liu Bei has come from nothing, has nothing, but in him lies the potential to be something far greater. Born with nominal attachment to the ruling Han dynasty, Liu Bei grew up with ambitious dreams and lofty ideals, yet this ardour has faded as his life, shaken by tragedy, and become more mundane out of necessity. However, though dimmed, his passion has never fully died. Loved by all those who know him, Liu Bei still has the desire to aid the world. He just does not yet know how. Now, obviously Liu Bei was mentored by Lu Zhi, Gongsun-san as well. So we're starting off nearby Lu Zhi. Let's get into it.
四海之内，流言风起，皆云天数有变，汉作已终。张氏兄弟揭竿而起，意在诛灭无道昏君，推翻汉王朝。雄心野望如燎原之火。 一星难灭，终至欲壑难填。试问天下有谁能抵挡权柄的诱惑呢？宦官们对汉室倾颓视而不见，依旧为自己攫取着更大的权力。那些曾忠于汉王朝的诸侯，则看到了机会。事到如此。 天下人无不设法为己身谋取利益，而张角则盘算着要君临天下，统御四海。天子大权旁落，皇后和宦官们争权夺利，作乱朝政。战火已是一触即发，不知要流尽多少鲜血，才能使天下重归一统。汉朝在铁与血中争得了天下。 延续了秦朝的统治地位，并维持了数世纪之久。历代汉帝子承父业，统治着这片江山，并以自己的方式维系着王朝的存续。 然而，眼下这位皇帝的统治却陷入了混乱，腐朽不堪的宦官们祸乱朝政，皇后。主公，您身为汉室宗亲，生活却与平民无异。
然而，我岂能甘于知悉犯律？如今朝廷无道，民不聊生，诸侯皆为一己之私利而战。或许我当救黎民于水火。
您赢得了人民的爱戴，可以将能人志士引荐到您的麾下。诸位英雄豪杰将助您打击贪官污吏。
我应当先与西南方的卢植会面。此人是我的良师益友，得其指点，必有裨益。之后，我当转向东北方，彼为我故乡所在。无论如何，我都不会抛弃我的同乡父老。
主公，您确乎贤明仁德，天下亟待您拯救。召集军队，前进吧。
Virtuous idealist, born of a poor family in Jura County, you lost your father at a young age. Although a relative of the imperial family, you had to weave straw mats and sandals to support your family. While somewhat disinterested in studying under your mentor Liu Bei, you loved to hunt and play music. Now you seek to serve the Han in any way possible. Travel the lands in service of the Han. Do not be quick to take territory, and you will be rewarded for your service. Liu Bei senses a change in the air. The roads around your village have become dangerous for travellers. A local colonel, Zhou Jing, has asked you to join the ranks and help fight a band of rebels who have been causing trouble. Engage the following general's army in battle. Shen Shi. 1,000 for doing so. Thank you. What toys did they give us? Dual war axes. A family spear? And an artisan. And I doubt I have a sentinel at all. Let's have a gun. No, I just have a Liu Bei. Yeah, well, you're famous for your match, Jen, but we're going to give you some axes. And you're going to like it. You can have that as well, because no one else can have it. And you can have that as well, because no one else can have it. You did have a smile, now you're sad, because I gave you all those toys. Right, I have 20 gold. Well, I have some cavalry, I have some Ye marksmen, and I have some G militia. That's not a bad force, actually. I could live with that. You're Zhou Jing. You're Shen Shi. He really needs my help with this? Wow. What a muppet. Yeah. Let's get into baby's first battle. I have decided to fight. Thank you. Liu Bei going to give us his masterful opening speech. I do enjoy it when they speak, and I've never heard his. Here we go.
属刘家血脉，如今却饱受贪腐叛乱之苦。追随我的都是忠心之人，保卫这片被恶行蹂躏的土地。我等携手，必将匡扶天下。时机已至，虽出身贫寒。 我也必将揭竿而起，倾尽全力。
I love that almost slightly constipated, deep, heroic voice that you get from Chinese traditional stories and stuff like that. Well, I doubt very much this is going to be the world's most challenging battle. However, they do have everything they need to counteract my cavalry. They have a champion, so Liu Bei is certainly not going to play against him. I do have some advantages if it comes to it, but I don't intend to. Liu Bei was never known for his fighting. That's what Guan Yu and Zhang Fei were for. And you know, I am going to be harsh about Liu Bei throughout this. That needs to be understood. He was, however, a great man. I will take the piss and I will compare him to Sun Jian, Sun Ce, Sun Quan, Cao Cao, Cao Pi, etc. Sima Yi, Zhou Yu, they were all great individuals, all of those names. And Liu Bei was one, had his own, certainly. One of the issues I have with Liu Bei is how he's regarded as this paragon of all that is heroic, based on romance. But of course, in romance, much of what he did and much of what's attributed to Shu Han, his kingdom, was actually not done by them or just completely made up. A whole host of stuff was taken away from Wu and the Sun family. Cao Cao didn't have that much taken from him, though some of his achievements were downplayed, but they weren't because he was the big bad of the story. But examples like Liu Bei even being part of the coalition against Dongzhuo, for example, you know, he wasn't there. He was fighting Yellow Turbans. It didn't happen. So when you have things like the great Guan Yu killing Hua Xiong was killed in a fight against Sun Jian, because Sun Jian was one of the few people who actually fought during those coalition battles. And then the great duel against Liu Bu that the brothers didn't happen because they weren't there. Any fighting against Liu Bu that did happen was done by Sun Jian's men. So yeah, it's a bit unfortunate. And then of course you've got the Battle of Chibi, where of course Zhuge Liang, who again was a truly great mind of the time, really, you can't take that away from him. But was he really the mastermind of all that was special about that battle? No. Zhou Yu needs to take something more out of it other than just being a petty, jealous man, upset that someone else has stolen his thunder. No, Zhou Yu was brilliant. That was a Wu battle that they fought using their tactics that they won, really. And I do feel slightly bemused by the fact that Liu Bei, considering what he actually did in history, is revered as this great paragon of loyalty and heroism, because of course, as an imperial relative, he managed to kill off a number of imperial relatives, or at least usurp their lands. Liu Zhang, Liu Biao, to further his own ends. And of course there's Tao Qian. Why did Tao Qian really give up everything for Liu Bei? And then of course just the fact that Liu Bei was at one stage a vassal of Cao Cao and betrayed him, which then led to the rise of Dongzhuo, of Liu Bu in their lands, etc, etc. I can go on for ages about why I dislike the way Liu Bei is portrayed. It doesn't take away from the fact he was a very great man. Possibly not as smart and as well-rounded as Cao Cao. Certainly. Not as capable a general as Cao Cao or Sun Jian or Sun Ce. But still, has to be one of the most charismatic, brilliant leaders around, just to keep the people he had under him. Like Zhang Fei was a drunk, violent, arrogant man. Brilliant, but to keep him happy all that time, and Guan Yu as well. Those two alone would have been a challenge to maintain, let alone the other generals he had, like Ma Chao. Zhao Yun was probably actually easier to handle than some of the others. But again, we're talking about people who were used to getting their own way, leaders of men who were loyal to them, not necessarily loyal to the faction they happened to be fighting for, and who were killers and quite happy to kill anyone. Anyway, mission issued. Liu Bei rallies volunteers to the cause. While you have no lands to call your own, there are many who feel as you do and seek a leader to follow. You should recruit them and swell your numbers. The standard get more men. Liu Bei visits his mentor, Liu Zhi. Your longtime mentor and friend Liu Zhi is always asking to see you, having spent the last few weeks selling sandals in a nearby town and beating on some bandits. You decide to take time to visit him. Move to Henei. Yeah, no worries, big man. There we go. We need to go down here, though. Ooh. Zhang Liang is there. I'm part of that setup, so... Yeah, I might need the ability to run up and down and dance around on all of this land. We're relatives, be nice to me. Ooh, very nice to me. Oh, he has some toys. Liu Bei wants a horse. There we go. If I've got 673 coming in, I can afford that. Yep.
将领并肩杀敌之际，敌友关系也会加深，从而影响。
I know all of that stuff, and it would be magnificent if I had some generals to add to that, but I don't. This is a tough one. Actually, it's not that tough, is it? I have to pay for some of them. I don't have to pay for others. I'd like some chopping troops. And I would like... The problem is I don't have any other generals right now, so this is going to be a really mixed up retinue. Go on, more archers. Just for now. Just for now. Yeah, and another reason why I thought I'd start off as Liu Bei for this playthrough is Cao Cao was great. I started off down south, but there isn't a huge amount to do down south at the beginning of the game. Certainly during the Mandate War, all the fighting's happening up in the northeast and the west, the far west, if Gongdu takes that land. Thank you. But up north, that's where the Yellow Turbans are fighting, and Liu Bei is in the thick of that. Oh, and Liu Zhi has given me money just for showing up. What a nice man. I guess it's Chinese New Year and he's giving me a hongbao. Liu Zhi requests Liu Bei's aid. Liu Zhi invites you for tea and speaks of many things. He requests your service to help him rid the region of bandits and rebels. You gladly agree, and he sets you the task of defeating a group which has been terrorizing the local area. Yuan Dan. You, big man. I think we can manage you. Nope. No. Liu Bei needs no more generals right now.
观此地，人丁兴旺，天下兴盛，可知矣。
Do you know, I don't have any land, but I do need an army. That will be useful. Yeah, so get back to what I was saying. Liu Bei made his name fighting Yellow Turbans. He raised force, a relatively small force, but he didn't have much means to do so. Gathered Zhang Fei, Guan Yu, etc. And they fought, and they were successful. So I thought, yeah, why not redo that and see where it leads. I am very tempted to do a Sun Jian playthrough. I do. I loved Sun Jian in the last one. I do love him as a character as well. I think he's undersold in romance hard. I think Sun Quan is as well. I actually used to live in Nanjing, and I visited his memorial temple set up at Purple Mountain several times for Sun Quan. Love it. Absolutely love it. The history of Mo Ling and everything he did for Wu. Great leader. Here we go. The mulberry tree. When you were but a child, you had a mulberry tree growing in your garden. The tree was over 50 foot tall, and its shape uncannily resembled the canopy of a chariot. To many, including yourself, this foretold of fame and honour in your future. However, to your uncle, this was a sign that you could cause great tragedy. Sign of fame and honour. Follow the story. Got kind. The Zhang brothers. You hear rumours of 3 brothers of the Zhang family from Julu County who have been gathering many followers to their side. It is said that one day, while gathering herbs, one of the brothers was visited by an old man who handed them a book of 3 volumes, The Essential Arts of Great Peace. It was said that whoever held this book would be able to bring peace to all mankind. The group have begun calling themselves the Yellow Turbans due to the scarves they wear on their heads, and in attempting to encourage peace, will go about pillaging, destroying, looting our lands unless we stop them. Righty-ho. Boom! Almost. Looks like Zhang Bao's gonna get him before I do. Anyway. Next turn. Yeah, I do want to do a Sun Jian playthrough. I think that would be fascinating. Because there's no one to scrap with down there. And his whole raison d'etre is to beat on people. An excellent student. As a young man, your mother had sent you to study under the great scholar Lu Zhi. However, you were far more fond of carousing with music and hunting. One sunny day, your friend and fellow student Gong Zan asked you if you wanted to ditch lessons and go into the village. Yeah, I love Gong Zan. Before I lived in Nanjing, I lived up in Heilongjiang province for many years. Gong Zan, obviously, Heilongjiang province back then was nomadic tribesmen and everything else, but Gong Zan was one of the military commanders of the northeast who was putting down the Wuhan who operated in that area. So yeah, I studied him quite hard. Yeah. Interesting, arrogant character who kept Yuan Shao in check for... Where did that chap bugger off to? There you are. Yeah, kept Yuan Shao in check for long enough that Cao Cao could sort out his problems and become the threat he was. Because Cao Cao and Yuan Shao, even though they nominally had a friendship and an agreement, they were rivals after the coalition broke down. Yuan Shao, if he had you stupid, mate. But if Yuan Shao had the control of the north that he wanted and the farmlands there, he would have been able to sweep south and would have really become one of the more powerful warlords, possibly even setting up his own kingdom later on. I mean, who knows? But Gongsun Zan had him in a fight that lasted almost a decade before Gongsun Zan spectacularly lost it. If you read the story, he set fire to himself. Whether he really did that or not is up for question. But whatever happens, he lost. But in his war, he managed to keep Yuan Shao from becoming super powerful, allowed Cao Cao to finish beating on Tao Qian, beat up Yuan Shu, consolidate huge swathes of land, and then become the force that would eventually take on and beat Yuan Shao. No, I'm good, thank you. And of course, that would lead Cao Cao to eventually going up north and pacifying the northeast in one of the great campaigns. Truly magnificent piece of generalship. Taking men when Yuan Shao's children had escaped to the Wuhan tribes up in the northeast, where they had a sizable force. Instead of going up and hitting them head on, he took a small professional force round the side, up the back and through the mountains. I can't remember the numbers exactly, but I know they state somewhere in the region of about 5,000 men. It must be more with the baggage and the people, and always when these histories are written, they make the enemy sound bigger and their forces sound smaller. But whatever happens, he took a small professional force up through the mountains, going around the huge Wuhan army, and annihilated them brilliantly, and then absorbed their cavalry into his own force that would become the greatest cavalry under heaven. Yeah. Extraordinary skilled battle. Of course, Guojia got sick on the way back from that, and then you had Chebi, which of course he lost hard. So it wasn't all fun and games for Cao Cao. Oh, Julie now. Of course, this battle is gonna go my way. They're taking a while to die, aren't they? Chase them down, make sure they don't come back, please. Guys, please. Come on. Come on. See, you've let them come back because you wanted to have a breather. Now you're gonna have to lose a couple of men. Right, they're gone. Chase them. Oi. Come on, come on, come on, come on, come on, come on. Yeah, Liu Bei's emerged victorious. There's a surprise. I sort of waited till the guy had lost half of his health before attacking. Right, Liu Bei's killed him. Brilliant. Or some archers have killed him. Either way, he's dead, which is magnificent. Right, Mr. Fast Horse. Let's go. Go, 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 go. Oh, they're gonna get away. Yeah, sod it. Oh, that's a shame. Sort of hoping to level up a little bit there. But we had a duel. Liu Bei with his historically inaccurate axes did well. I wonder if there will be some sort of thing that allows his match gen to appear. I think that would be quite cool. Dongzhuo declares war on looters. Liu Yan declares war on Liu Ye. Money. Liu Zhe makes a further request. Over tea. Again, Liu Zhe informs you that he has an imperial mission for you to complete. It seems there has been disturbing reports of banditry in Anxi County, which cannot be ignored. He requests that you head out immediately to investigate the issue. Going to Pingyuan. Yeah, I will do it. Gift from Liu Duran's father. So Liu Duran was a kinsman of Liu Bei, who also studied under Liu Zhi. While a student, you studied with a distant kinsman, Liu Duran. Knowing of your poverty, his father treated you like his own son, and often offered you gifts of food and provisions. One day he handed you a large bundle, a gift for you and your mother. Yeah, follow the story. I'm going to follow the story with Liu Bei, because I'm interested to see where it leads. Graffiti. As you walk through a local village, you see 3 men in a town square. They are tied to blocks and the headsman stands above them. Their crime was spreading graffiti, promoting the yellow turbans around the village. Things seem to be getting out of hand with these yellow turbans. Yep, so the yellow turban Banksy has been caught and arrested. Young He looters. I do need to swing up that way. Pingyuan. I feel... No, did not mean that. I feel bad not finishing off that army. Liu Bei has leveled up. Fantastic. What has Mr. Talentless? Line of sight is useful. Mighty knockback is useful. We're fighting right now. I do like line of sight. That's why I like Gorja's passive ability so much. You just can't hide when he's on the field if you're the enemy. Makes him as far as strategists go, he's my favourite by far in the game. He of course was extremely talented as well, and this era is filled with people who were brilliant. Chong Bianzan. The Fighting Man. While you were not studying, you often spent time in company of local youths, as you loved to box and were considered to be the best around. As a result, many younger people, impressed by your strength and agility, began to follow you and asked to become your followers. Yeah. Tangzhuo defects. A yellow turban officer, Tangzhuo. Spelling, one of them is wrong, has seen the error of his ways and surrendered to the Emperor. He has implicated others in the plot who have been swiftly dealt the Emperor's justice. It seems the Yellow Turbans are planning to strike against the Empire. Character development. Now he is one of Cao Cao's great advisors. Me too. However, do you know what? I will take Miju. Because historically he was one of Liu Bei's people. Right. I'm not gonna fight that. That's what we want to see. Ooh, I lost a lot more men than had I fought that. Anyway, money for me. Looters destroyed. Then we're gonna get a massive wiggle on out of their territory. Then we're gonna swing down south, go round. I'm worried that they're going to declare war on everyone before I can get out of their territory. I don't have it. This campaign will be over pretty bloody quickly if their army decided they were going to go for me. Chengui. Going to declare war on one of them. Fujie Tianfeng, he's another strategist of note. Yuan Shao's, I believe. Oh, bollocks, we're gonna have to. Sod it. As fast as we humanly can. Let's get back to Henei. Right. Military supplies. Military supplies. Quite enjoying this start. In the same way I enjoyed Telltales. Without having land to worry about at the beginning, it does make things a little bit different. You get an opportunity to sort of travel around a bit. Cao Cao declared war on Zhangliang. The Yellow Turban Rebellion. It has begun. Across the lands, the banners of the Yellow Turbans are being raised, hastened by the defection of Tang Zhou. A call to arms has gone up from the Emperor, and all across the land, troops are being gathered to defend the Empire from this threat as brother fights against brother. That's 2 Zhous versus 1 Zhuo. So we're going to go with Zhou if it shows up again. The Warlords of the Han restore the mandate of heaven. With rallying cries about a yellow sky, the rebels have shown their true face. These are mere vagrants, wolves disguising themselves as sheep, tyrants masquerading as saviors. Show the people who really has the mandate of heaven. Eliminate them for the glory of China. Zhang Ju invited Gongdu, Huang Shao and He Yi into the alliance and the Yellow Turban Rebellion. The world declares war on them. Right. Well, first thing I'm going to do is leg it. And the second thing I'm going to do is say that's time up for this first episode. We have smacked some looters and stomped all over Zhang Bao's land. So he loves me. Liu Zhi has given us a task to go to Pingyuan, which is taken by Zhang Liang. I have hired Mi Ju, who in a minute will be recruited into the army, because if I need to siege somewhere, I'm going to need my strategist. I have money, which is something I did not have and have not had in Cao Cao's campaign since very, very early on. But yeah, next turn we move to Pingyuan. So thank you very much for joining me for this first episode of our Liu Bei playthrough. If you have any questions, any feedback, anything else, please feel free to leave comments below. Love hearing what you guys have to say. If you've liked this, please consider clicking the like button and subscribing. It makes a massive difference to the channel. Really massive confidence builder as well for us new YouTubers. And if you didn't like it as well, feedback, wonderful to improve us. And also feel free to click the dislike button. But yeah, thank you very much for joining me today, and bye-bye.